Welcome back. In Taiwan, the Cabinet Office has drafted a new bill that will monitor all future deals signed with the mainland. But it hasn't appeased the protesters inside the Legislative Yuan because it doesn't cover the current deal, which has been the main point of the protest movement.
The Executive Yuan passed the draft bill this morning, setting out 4 stages of communication and 2 stages of security checks. The Cabinet will be required by law to involve legislators and the public in coming to any agreement with the mainland. Taiwan's intelligence agency will have to review any agreement in detail twice before it can be finalized. The bill will be tabled at the Legislative Yuan soon. The move is widely seen as the government's response to protesters who've been occupying the Legislative Yuan's main chamber for weeks. They want the service trade deal with the mainland scrapped, but the government is still intent on pushing ahead with it. That means the current trade deal, which has been the source of all the controversy, will be exempted from the monitoring mechanisms under the new draft bill. And the protesters say that's unacceptable. Student leader Chen Wei-ting said the Executive Yuan's offering doesn't deal with their demands and accused the government for ignoring the public's concerns that have been voiced so loudly over the past few weeks. This morning, the legislature was supposed to begin re-examining the trade clause by clause this time. But in a repeat of yesterday's events, the opposition Democratic Progressive Party barred the ruling Kuomintang lawmakers from entering the conference room, and the meeting had to be further postponed.
Some more local news now, and with just a month to go before the end of the first round of consultation on political reform, Chief Secretary for Administration Carrie Lam is not optimistic about reaching a consensus yet. But she said some recently made proposals for the chief executive election did try to meet the requirements of the Basic Law. More details now from Jara De Silva.
At a construction industry consultation session on political reform, Carrie Lam admitted that 4 months into the first round of public consultation, Hong Kong is still faced with huge challenges in its path towards universal suffrage. But she said she's glad that some recently made proposals did try to meet the Basic Law requirements. These comments came just after a group of 18 academics put forth a plan that would allow the public to recommend candidates. It would also give the nominating committee the final say on whether the people recommended could actually run for election. Speaking at an event this morning, Secretary for Justice Rimsky-Yoon said he would consider the proposal put forward by 18 academics yesterday from the legal and political perspectives. Meanwhile, organisers of the Occupy Central movement say civil recommendation of candidates as proposed by the academics could be acceptable.
Civil recommendation will be something actually they think that will be consistent with the international standard. But I think we may also need to put together with the composition of the nominating committee and to look at the whole proposal together. And so we have to wait for the evaluation of the international experts on each of the proposals.
18 groups that back the Occupy Central campaign handed in political reform suggestions at the central government offices today. Benny Tai said the report contains a variety of views and added that in general they all demand free and fair elections that comply with international universal suffrage standards. The convener of the Occupy Central movement expects that in the second half of the year, with a concrete political reform proposal in hand, the group will devote most of its activities to promoting the plan within the community and gathering support from more civil society organisations. Jara De Silva, TVB News.
The Performing Industry Association is calling on the government to build a new performance venue that can accommodate an audience of 35,000. A new venue, it says, will be crucial to raising Hong Kong's status as an international hub. Stephanie Choi has more.
Hong Kong's biggest performance venue, the Asia World Expo, can accommodate an audience of 14,000. The Performing Industry Association, or PIA, says this isn't enough. It is pushing for an indoor venue that can host 35,000 concert-goers.
We're not talking about now, but in 2 years' time, when all the other cities have built their own venue, their big venue, then Hong Kong would be really behind the whole schedule.
That's because Hong Kong faces competition from places such as Singapore, where the 55,000-seat new Singapore National Stadium is due to open later this year, and Seoul's Gocheok Dome, which will have a capacity of 50,000 seats when it enters service next year. The Performing Industry Association is eyeing part of the Kai Tak development project as a potential site for building an easily accessible performance venue. According to a study by the Hong Kong Polytechnic University, a new facility with a seating capacity of 35,000 would contribute additional economic benefits of $5.2 billion to the local economy. A survey by the PIA shows that 89% of the 250 tourists surveyed picked Hong Kong as their favorite city to watch performances. The association is confident that a new performance venue would not only boost the economy, but also raise Hong Kong's international status by attracting more tourists and world-class performers. Stephanie Choi, TVB News.
The Director of Health has warned that the warmer weather could increase the risk of dengue fever and Japanese encephalitis here. He called on the public to be more vigilant and take preventive measures. Rani Samtani reports.
Beware of stings and insect bites. Last year, the Center for Health Protection reported 103 cases of dengue fever.
In Hong Kong, vector-borne diseases do occur. For example, mosquito-borne disease such as dengue fever, Japanese encephalitis, and malaria have been reported. In the case of dengue fever, for example, for the past 10 years, majority are imported mainly from, say, Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia.
The species of mosquito, Aedes albopictus, which spreads dengue fever, has become very common in Hong Kong.
Mosquito can breed in small containers. Small water bodies can be generated very easily. If we throw away our empty lunch box or small containers, that will create a favorable breeding place for Aedes albopictus.
Just this week, the center found 2 cases of Japanese encephalitis in Tin Shui Wai, and in the last 10 years, there have been 19 reported cases of Japanese encephalitis in Hong Kong. The Center for Health Protection says members of the public should be more vigilant when traveling abroad to areas where vector-borne diseases are more prevalent. But even though there is a vaccine for Japanese encephalitis, the Center for Health Protection does not recommend it because of possible side effects. It reminded the public to take precautions such as using DEET-containing insect repellent and to wear loose, long-sleeve, light-colored clothing when taking part in outdoor activities. Rani Samtani, TVB News.
All right, Tony, what's exciting tonight?
We got exciting football again and a bit of a setback for Chelsea. We'll talk all about it. In the Champions League, Paris Saint-Germain defeated Chelsea 3-1 in the opening leg of their quarter-final tie. James Wong has more.
Ezekiel Lavesi's half volley put PSG ahead in the 3rd minute. Eden Hazard leveled from the spot in the first half before the home side reclaimed the advantage at the hour from a David Luiz on goal. Javier Pastore wrapped up the scoring 3-1 the final. Chelsea will need at least 2 goals at Stamford Bridge if they are to advance to the semi-finals.
We have nothing to lose now. We have nothing to lose. We have to play thinking that that is possible. And to be fair, I don't think Paris think that is done. I don't think they think that is done.
No problems for Spanish giants Real Madrid. They pounded Borussia Dortmund 3-0 in a replay of last year's semi-final tie won by the Germans. Bale, Isco, and Ronaldo were the goal scorers. Jameson Wong, TVB News.
Well, let's move along now to the NBA, and the San Antonio Spurs extended their winning streak to 19 games with a 111-90 win over the Golden State Warriors. The Spurs...
That's the news. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching. Good night.
Good evening. The weather was cloudy with rain and squally thunderstorms. Rain was heavy at times. And as tonight's situation chart shows, a trough of low pressure that affected the South China coast this morning has moved towards the northern part of the South China Sea. Up to 5 p.m., temperatures ranged from 18.5 to 20.7 degrees, and the relative humidity was between 97 to 100%. Moderate east to northeasterly winds fresh at first. The current temperature is now 20 degrees Celsius with the relative humidity standing at 97%. So Freddie, how's the weather tomorrow? It will be cloudy tonight and tomorrow, 1 or 2 rain patches at first, becoming bright during the day tomorrow. Temperatures will range between 18 and 22 degrees. There will be sunny intervals on Saturday. Tomorrow's air quality health index is forecast at low to moderate. The maximum UV index forecast for tomorrow will be about 5. And here's the latest global weather update. Sunny in Shanghai, cloudy in Xiamen. Cloudy in Guangzhou, showers in Chengdu. Sunny in Beijing, cloudy in Seoul, rain in Tokyo. Thunderstorms in Bangkok, rain in Ho Chi Minh City, bright in Manila. Showers in Kuala Lumpur, rain in Jakarta. Bright in New Delhi, sunny in Karachi and Mumbai. Sunny in Cairo. Showers in Brisbane and Sydney. Rain in Toronto. Rain in Vancouver, bright in San Francisco, sunny in Los Angeles. Cloudy in London, showers in Paris and Amsterdam. And that's the weather. Have a lovely evening.